West Virginia had their annual Gold and Blue Spring Showcase today, and there were some standouts. Pac Man Jones says, "We've got a freaking quarterback, baby." And I can't wait. I can almost not even talk because of it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome to Locked On West Virginia. Talking foosball. It's the devil. As we jump into the spring/summer, what time of the year is it? They took an hour away. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Please help me. Help me. It's football season. Not yet. It's basketball season. No, it's not basketball season. What do I do with my life? Somebody please help me. I'm manic. I'm having a breakdown over here. I'm just kidding. So obviously the showcase, man, was something. I don't know what to call it. It was anticlimactic is a good word, right? I think we did get some good news out of it, though. Pac Man Jones obviously talked about, hey, we got a quarterback. And I got some intel as to who they was talking about finally after why I was late coming to the show. Kind of surprising. And then also, what about that didn't change over, did it? That sucks when that happens. All right. Pac-Man talking quarterbacks. And then also we're going to showcase some spring highlights that I've been able to dig up. Who started? What did it look like? Who was held out? What does that mean? Why are they being so secretive? That kind of stuff. And there were some standouts. There were a lot, actually. Guys that I think are going to make a big impact this year. So there are some things that you can pick through, and I really do believe this is going to be fun, man. So I don't know how good this team's going to be. I think they have some good players, but I also think what happened today, well, we got some guys that are going to be hitting the portal, some tape. That's just a fact. So let's talk about Pac Man Jones first. If you go to Pac Man's page over on X, you can find a clip about 7 seconds long. If you click over on where it says media over on X, sometimes you have to click media. It'll show different things. There's a 7-second video where it's him saying, hey, we got a team, but we got quarterback. And I had to do some digging. I had to do some messaging, and I was able to get a reply. And Nico Marchiol seems to be the guy. Jalen Henderson is definitely still in the conversation, though, too. And what I was told is Nico has just kind of separated himself at this point in a few different ways, which was why he didn't play a lot in the game. The thought is that Henderson kind of needed a little bit more playing time. And he's never played in that stadium. He's never played in front of our fans. There was a lot of firsts for him that Nico doesn't necessarily have to worry about in this stadium, you know. So, and just generally, Nico feels a little more comfortable with everything, I think, so far. But it's a battle, and I think Jalen Henderson can still easily win the job as well as lose it. You know, looking at some of the plays that he had today, some good and some bad. I'll say this too. You have to take it all with a grain of salt. This would probably be a good time to talk about who started and who didn't play. So let's start with that. So here's who was held out of the game, guys, and it's a pretty big list. Let me set this mic down for a second while I switch pages here. So they ran 88 plays, which is quite a bit, right? Sorry, that's embarrassing. Trying to without my microphone arm, it's messing with me, guys. I'm not used to it. I'm having to do things one-handed here. So, okay, these are the players that were held out of the game. Chase Wilson, Devontae Golden Nelson, Judah Price, Chris Filippo, Michael Coach Jr., Aiden Nelson, Jamori Robinson, Armando Johnson, Makai Byerson, Aiden Fleming, Wilson Telemac. There were some others too, I thought. No, maybe that's it. Yeah, there might have been a couple more, but you're talking over a dozen players that were held out for this game. And I think there were more. Jamori Robinson obviously being a big one. Most of the transfers didn't play. That's correct. But also there was a good bit of what I would consider young talent that didn't play as well. So the starters in this game were at quarterback. You had Nico Marchiol, and I wouldn't read too much into this, by the way, because I think you had a mixture of first and second team guys on both. So quarterback, you had Nico. Running back was Ty Edwards. Tight end was Jacob Barrick. Left tackle was Nick Cray. Left guard was Walter Youngbear. Center was Landon Livingston. Right guard was Kimo Makaniole. And right tackle was Tykees Crawford. I think that, I'll be shocked if Xavier Bosley isn't a starter when time comes. Maybe Tykees Crawford has overtaken him, but I don't see that yet. Maybe, Kimo is the guy that's kicked out. It's really hard to say at this point in time. But the offensive line played pretty well at times today. They've got a long way to go. I looked at some plays where there was just some holes in the O-line, and the quarterbacks are taking too long to toss it around. But Nico, man, when he got a chance to play today, boy, did he play well. He is a guy that we really need to win this job. I've said it multiple times before, but we need Nico to win this job because he's going to stay. If that's in my opinion. Now, if he has some kind of All-American season or something crazy like that, then I would be nervous, because then you're talking about, we just saw Duke give a guy $7 million or something crazy. Like, we're not going to be able to match something like that. So, in some ways we would have had a really good season, but at the same time, it's like, man, he's got 2 years left as well. So this upcoming year and another year. So there's a lot about Nico that excites me, for the future, if he's the guy. So I've said it multiple times now, for the betterment of our program, we need him to be that guy. The Tommy Nikolic Award goes to Clay Ash, which is the top walk-on. I thought that was really cool. Warriors of Winter, which is the strength and conditioning warriors. Reed Carrico, Kimo Makaniole, which is a lineman, and Kikor Tarnu, which is a Jacksonville State transfer from the Neil Brown era. Just happens to be crossed over here. So Reed Carrico, obviously, he's from my area. Love seeing it. Think he deserves it. Know him. He's a hard worker. He's got to be a hard worker. But he was an elite high school recruit. So he went to Ohio State coming out, right? We remember that. He was actually a really good running back in high school. Has a lot of records at Ironton. So, he's got a ton of talent. I'm glad to see him get that. There were some guys that really stood out on defense, by the way, I forgot to name starters on the defense. At linebackers, you had Ashton Woods, Caden Beiser. Bandit was Braden Siders. Corners were Keon Washington and Keyshawn Robinson, guys. That's just not going to be your two starters come game day. Justin Harrington had one of the safety spots. Kikor Tarnu one of the other safety spots. The Virginia Union transfer William Davis at nickel. John Charles, Sonny Redwood, and Adam Tomczyk were at the defensive line spots for this. So, all those guys are either brand new. So not all the transfers didn't sit out, because Tomczyk's a transfer. Ashton Woods is a transfer. They're both young transfers. So I think what it was a mixture of guys that are probably going to transfer out of the program played today, mixed with guys that really needed the reps, like a Tom Check, like a Woods. By the way, Ashton Woods had himself a really good practice over the weekend, was all over the place, had an interception, had some really good open field tackles. If he keeps on this trajectory, I think Ashton Woods could wind up in the starting lineup before the year's over. That's my prediction. Let's go to break. On the other side of the break, we'll talk about the rest of the spring showcase, what Zach Alley had to say, what Rich Rodriguez had to say, and who were the standout players, and who have been the standout players of spring. There's still a lot to get to. Stick around and we'll talk about it. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Fabric by Goiba. That's right, the little baby. Life moves fast, especially when you have a family and one day you're watching your kids take their first steps. Before you know it, off to college. That's why securing their future is so important. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it very simple to get term life insurance that fits your family's needs. With Fabric, you can apply term life insurance online right from your couch. You could be under 10 minutes in many cases, no health exam required, which is pretty dang good. You can get affordable coverage. You don't need $1 million in coverage for less than $1. You can get it for less. Pretending and protecting your loved ones doesn't have to break the bank. It just doesn't. Fabric also offers free digital wills and access to investment accounts to help you plan for your kids' future. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their families. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. That's meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Insurance Company. Not available in certain states, guys, but prices are subject to underwriting and health questions. And we can't forget about our friends over at Prize Picks. Guys, at Prize Picks, they're doing it big again, and they always have and always will over there because baseball season is full swing. There's no better way to get in on the action, than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you can pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, and if you're right, you win up to 1,000 times your cash. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first-inning runs, Prize Picks keeps every game exciting. Building my lineup. This week, I'm picking Aaron Judge for more than 1 home run. Seems like a sure bet. And Shohei Ohtani for more than 1 stolen base. That seems like a safe bet. It's that easy. It can be fast and simple for you. Getting a lineup setup takes less than 60 seconds. And when you win, your payout is quick, safe, and secure. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Locked On College for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Do it today at Prize Picks, where you can run your game. It's segment 2. Let's crack-a-doo. Crack-a-doo, crack-a-doo. You guys can't tell I'm manic today. I'm just in a good mood. Staying grateful. That's all it is, y'all. Nothing major to it. So I got to talk to a friend today who is not doing well, bedridden, unable to get up. So, things like that give you perspective, right? There's always somebody that's got it worse. There's always somebody that's got better for sure. And I just had to keep that perspective because I woke up today really miserable and I was not in a good mood. And I called my mom griping about it, different things like that. Sometimes, I lose that perspective and God will just shove it right back in my face. Like, no, you got it pretty good, buddy. All right. So let's talk a little bit about where do we want to go here? Let's go spring standouts. I think you guys have waited long enough for that. And this is my list mixed with some reviews that I've heard. And I've got 7 or 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys here. And there are a couple more I may mention. No, there are 8 here. One of them's, as you can see how I have everything written down. It's like chicken scratch, right? So then that's like these are all the players like up top. Those are all the players that didn't play today. And then as you can see, I've got the little arrow pointing the standouts. It's a mess. So standouts. Fred Perry made several open field tackles today, I'm told. Really looked good, really looked feisty. You know, the knock on him is that he makes some dumber plays like from a, you know, he gets too hyped up. Sometimes he'll knock somebody out of bounds, hit somebody late. Sometimes he'll maybe helmet to helmet, like those kind of things. So it's a discipline kind of issue, but at the same time, he's such a playmaker. You kind of put up with it, right? Pac Man would be great for a guy like him. Dior Hubbard, and there are plays out there of him today running around. He looks like a different player, guys. This is a kid that knows. Honestly, I'll be worried about him. I don't know if he's going to stay or go. I think he could easily be at the number 2, number 3 spot. Easy. Nobody's going to supplant Jaheim. I think Ty Edwards is going to be number 2 personally. But I could see a guy like Dior Hubbard beating out everybody and getting to number 2. I really could. And maybe even number 1 if Jaheim doesn't get his act together or doesn't stay healthy or whatever. He's good. He's talented, y'all. You know, he's got a nice mix of speed and what I consider a little bit of wiggle in the way he runs. He runs sort of like what I call like a punt returner in some ways, how he's able to kind of weave in and out of traffic as he runs. And he did a really good job today and throughout the spring. We've heard his name. I mean, he's like the only player Rich Rod's mentioned, it seems like. So that's been interesting to see. Walter Youngbear got injured today. I don't know what the extent of the injury is, but they said that he was really playing well at times today. Max Brown, the third string quarterback. We got 3 guys, y'all, that are playing extremely well. Max Brown made several touchdown drives. Let me slow down here. He had a couple touchdown drives today and can really move with his legs. If you go look at his social media page, even when we signed him, I was excited out of Charlotte because he does that Patrick Mahomes drill. Or no, actually, who did it before him? Spencer Rattler is the guy I saw do it. If you remember him from Oklahoma, he does this drill where he'll run, he'll like pirouette, and in midair he'll throw the ball, but it'll go like 60 yards. Max Brown can do that. He's got it on his X page. If you ever go watch him, he throws the ball underneath like that. All these crazy different little deals where he just a lot of arm talent. Now, you ask him to do the 3-step drop or the 1-step drop or whatever they do in the shotgun and the footwork. It's not like it's not like Shedeur Sanders yesterday when I saw his workout. Like, holy cow, Shedeur Sanders' footwork was so good. You know, that left plant foot was so perfect. The way he positions it just inside of where he wants the ball to go. Like, it was so good. People were talking about him patting the ball. Like, it's just almost like because he's a polarizing figure, people have to find reasons to dislike him. And I hate that. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean that I can't say when they do bad or good. Like, I can't let how I feel about people color the way I see them, like in sports, right? That's one of the things that bugs me the most about people is like, there are certain people that are literally incapable of disliking somebody and acknowledging like, okay, that was a good point, right? Like with Trump, we'll just say with Trump, and I'm not advocating for or against, I'm just saying generally. He could do something good, but there are some people that would just not acknowledge it because there's so much hatred there, right? So it's the same thing in sports. I think I see it a lot. And I'm probably guilty of it too at times, but I think that there are times in life where I'm really because of my past and history of like coming through recovery and being forced to look at myself first. Like, I am forced daily to look at myself first before I ever look at anybody else. It's just the way I'm wired now. And so it gives me good perspective in sports, I feel like sometimes. How did I get from Max Brown to that? Cam Vaughn is absolutely probably our best player right now, in my opinion. He's going to be a star, and I'm really worried about somebody trying to poach him. I am. Somebody sent me a message today from inside the locker room, and said he is 5 miles better than any receiver we've had in the last, let's say, since Bryce Ford Wheaton and those guys, because they were actually comparable receivers. Were they elite? I don't know. I feel like Bryce Ford Wheaton didn't play for an elite quarterback, right? He had Seth Dagey and JT Daniels to work with at the end of his career. So, for me, it's like, what would Bryce Ford Wheaton have been had he had some better quarterback play? It's hard to say, but I will say this: Cam Vaughn is that guy, and I would be shocked if Cam Vaughn doesn't have a huge year for us. He can just beat people deep. Now we need somebody to complement him on the other side. I do think Jaden Bray is going to be one of the guys that does it. Rodney Gallagher also started at receiver today. Oh yeah, I overlooked the receivers, didn't I, when I mentioned the starting lineups earlier? Starting wide receivers were Cam Vaughn, Jaden Bray, and Rodney Gallagher. Now that might actually be true to life. I can see that starting lineup, which Rodney Gallagher continues to make me eat crow probably because I said that I think Man Singleton's going to win a job. I still think he's going to. It's just going to have to get through the summer as long as he doesn't get hurt. Ty Edwards, man, guys, if you haven't seen that kid's tape from today, he looks different running the ball. He's faster than CJ, and the same size, if not a little bigger than CJ. He's a better version. I'll say it now. I predict, capital P, that he'll be a better version of CJ Donaldson than CJ Donaldson. Number one, because of the offense we're in. Number two, just because he pops off tape. They've got him at almost 22 miles an hour on his UNI footage. 22 miles an hour. The kid can run. He's an absolute stud, and I think people are really overlooking him. Like I said earlier, Dior Hubbard could possibly slide in that 2 spot. Not if this guy gets it right. If this guy picks up the offense, it's over with. And I mean for Jaheim White and everybody. I really think that this guy right here could push for half of Jaheim White's carries, at least. I'm a big fan of Ty Edwards, and I'm not saying he'll supplant Jaheim, but I'm saying we're all saying like Jaheim could have this huge 2,000-yard year. Not if this guy gets it right. I think he could come for half of those carries. That's just my opinion. Israel Boyce was a name that Zach Alley himself had to talk about in his press conference, guys. And I'll be honest, I wasn't shocked to hear it, but I was surprised to hear it. I expected other names first. And the thing about it is they're being so damn secretive right now. I was shocked, honestly shocked, to hear them talk good about any player, not named like Nico or somebody they can get away with and not worried about being tampered with. Let's talk about the paranoia next, and also about what Rich Rod and Zach Alley said in their press conferences. This paranoia thing it's kind of crazy, isn't it? This scared of every little thing in the portal and getting tampered with, and there's a lot to talk about. We'll break it down next. Stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the bracket breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
And we can't but forget about our good friends at 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again. And if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, well, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, and sometimes you need a little boost to power through. When you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, maybe you just watch Florida, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. That's right. Basketball madness. Have you been staying up watching the tournament action? 5 Hour Energy helps keep me up the next day after those long evenings. On-the-go convenience. Whether I'm at a game, traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps me feeling refreshed. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12 or 24 pack delivered right to your front door. If you need one now, grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store because they're everywhere. Stock up and stay energized with 5-Hour Energy. All right, guys. Appreciate you all for joining in as we climb towards 400 people in here. I appreciate you on X. I appreciate you on YouTube. Thank you on TikTok and everywhere else. Guys, let me find my notes from the press conferences here. Okay, there they are. Yeah, I shot like 5 pages of notes. So we left talking about the paranoia. I want to get into that first, and then we'll go into what Zach and Rich Rod said. We'll go over a little bit, whatever. On the time, I mean, because technically need to be out by like around 32, 33 minutes, but we'll go a little further. I'm curious how you guys feel about the paranoia, because of the paranoia, we get no coverage inside. We get no practice footage. We get very little closed. All the practices are closed, right? The spring game was basically almost canceled. All these players are being held out, which I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just bringing these things up. And these players can't even be praised at press conferences. You know, something a lot of us really feed off of and need for content and all that kind of things. And, you know, it's a wild, wacky world we're in without guardrails that affects us, you know, as content creators and fans, right? Us fans that are in here right now that really need this extra. Like, we don't just go to sleep until the season kicks off and start following the team. It's an everyday affair, literally 365 days a year, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, women's, and it's all state pride, right? It's all I'm from the state of West Virginia. We have no pro teams to root for. So I just follow our college team all year long. What of it? Big whoop. Want to fight about it, right? So for me, the paranoia has been affected me to that end. And it's affected me from an intel perspective in some ways, like forming my own opinions, not necessarily intel. And my phone just will not shut up when I'm on this show. I swear. I'm going to start leaving it. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, guys. It bugs the heck out of me. I'm in so many group chats that it's like, you know, there's always somebody talking, right? I'm going to have to somehow find out a way to remember to turn that off. So anyways, I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the paranoia, you know, involving Rich Rod and the other coaches, not just Rich Rod. Is it too much? Do you think he's gone too far? Is it just a little too far? Or do you feel like, mascot alert, do you feel like it's necessary evil? Even though it sucks, it's necessary because our players would be poached otherwise. We can't deal with the big boys. At Ohio State, I guess you can afford to talk about these players because you can just match whatever is offered, right, for the most part. But I'm sure even they're using it as an excuse to do what I've heard others say they've always wanted to do, close practices to the public. So curious what you guys feel, how you guys feel about that. As for Rich Rod, he said the guys got better. He's disappointed in the penalties. And I'm just going to run through a few of my notes here. A couple weeks of meetings ahead. This is an important part of what he said because we know that over the next 2 weeks, leading into the portal, which opens in 2 weeks, I believe. What is on the 16th or 15th it opens. I think it is. I believe it is. I'll get to that. I'll get to the quarterback commit. I actually forgot about it until you just mentioned it. So we know that there are players that are going to be cut. Like, that's just the reality of it. So, you know, a lot of those guys were playing today so they could have tape. That's just the truth. The kickers had to kick under pressure. Clay Ash, a walk-on of the year, said he's not even worried at all about the competitiveness with the quarterbacks. They're very driven. It sounds like, we keep getting these rave reviews on the quarterbacks. He said he didn't take a lot into what happened today. 17-year-olds. Okay, so that's my shorthand. He said he didn't take a whole lot of stock, or neither should we, into what happened today. He said those guys that Max Brown was juking out. He didn't say Max Brown, but I'm using him as an example. The guy was Max Brown was juking out today. This is probably 17 years old and should be getting ready for prom. Instead, he's out here. I almost titled my episode over the next note that I have here. Rich Rod got emotional over country roads. It's personal, which was going to be my thumbnail, and I may still do it. It's personal for Rich Rod. This is the coming back, the restarting, the one more chance, and we've got all these things stacked against you. The portal era now, he can't even do it like he did the first time. Players are being poached, possibly. Do you have the finances to keep up? There's a lot, and it's personal for Rich Rod. We'll see what happens. He said we got better with playing with a relentless mentality and a hard edge. This is Zach Alley. Time in the summer is going to help him make major strides, where the number one priority was to evaluate who played hard all game today. Technique was better, but not where we needed to be, according to Zach Alley. They have a standard of 3 turnovers per practice every day, and they only missed that twice all spring long. So they got 3 turnovers in every single practice except for 2. He said communication is and was good. A quiet defense is a dead defense. I thought that was a good quote. He said it was a last chance for some guys. That some of these guys had their last chance was today. Like, if you're going to show us something, then do it today. Tackling in space could be better. Not always popular to be a leader was a cool quote I wrote down. He was talking about, I think, Reed and some other guys, that sometimes it's not always popular to be a leader. And then Israel Boyce, he actually singled him out and said he's had possibly the best spring of everybody. So it's either he's been really good or they want him off the team. I don't know which one. And that's really all I've gotten written down. Let's get to one other thing really quick, and I think I have. Let's see. Do I have it? Why would it freeze on me now? Okay, there it goes. So obviously West Virginia has a commitment from Jaron Hughley. And if you guys, I went and watched him. That's actually why I was late. I was watching tape on him for about 20 minutes before I came in. So I don't have an extensive amount of tape study done on Jaron, but here's what I can tell you. He is so if Garrett Green was a running quarterback that can throw, Jaron Hughley, in my opinion, is a throwing quarterback that can run. He is a pocket passer first in the offense I've seen him in, and then he can also run. He's very similar to Jalen Henderson, I would, in my opinion. I didn't get a lot of film on his runs because most of his film is him passing, just to be honest. I totally forgot about something now that you said that, Mike. You know what I'll do, guys? So what is today? Today is Saturday. We'll do a show tomorrow, and I'll give away $20. So we'll extend it one more day. I'm going to write it down right now with my notes. Remember, giveaway. I was supposed to do a giveaway on people that shared my videos on Friday, and I just totally forgot. So I'm sorry to anybody that did that. So if you want to stay extended in that, I've had a few people. So there's 2 ways you can do it. The Discord, Raven, thank you. She's been sharing it in the chat to the Discord server. If you want to send me a message with a screenshot saying so you can prove that you shared, one of these videos, any video over the last couple of days, preferably this one now, and shared it on like Facebook or X or any other platform and posted it. You can copy the URL or you can just click share, and then screenshot it that you did it and send it to me on either X or at Paul Mountaineer. That's at literally my name backwards on the screen. Or find me over on Discord and send me a screenshot of it there. I'm doing a giveaway. There's only like 17 or 18 people in it, so it's not a lot. You win a quick $20. It's worth the chance. If that's something you're interested in, check me out and do that. At Paul Mountaineer on X, which a lot of you guys are watching from X right now, over 200 people. It looks like close to 200. And then here on YouTube, you can also find me on Discord or on X. So appreciate you guys for joining in for this one. Spring Showcase, I feel like we learned some stuff today. I don't know how substantial it was, but I feel like we did learn some stuff. And I feel like the Pac Man thing was pretty cool. Him saying we have a quarterback like nobody knows quarterbacks like cornerbacks. And Pac Man was a great corner, right? So if he's showcasing some confidence in our quarterbacks, it makes me feel a little better. I'm not going to lie. So I'm excited about everything, all things considered. And I think you guys should be too. I think the team's much better than they're putting off, but I think we have a lot of work to do. There's just too many new guys coming in. Luckily, we're going to have a couple games to get these guys rolling before we run into Pitt. And I think we're going to have a shot this year, especially we're going to start out 2-0, hopefully. Ohio University could absolutely stub our toe, but I don't think we will on them. I think Pitt will be our first challenge, and that's going to be a rocking environment. So I don't got much else. I appreciate y'all for joining, like I said. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. If you could do me a favor, guys, Locked On College Basketball right now, they're covering the Final Four. Isaac Shade, Andy Patton, do it big in March. If you want to be the most educated college basketball fan, make sure you check them out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Doing a giveaway, so make sure you like and share and screenshot and send. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with $20 to somebody on PayPal, Cash App, and I'll post the proof on X. Talk to you tomorrow. I'm out.